morning long, covering Hurricane Sandy. We do want to check in one more time with Sam and Chris Homewood down in Lower Manhattan. Sam?
And the one thing we want to point out, George, by the way, is that this storm is still on track to move inland. And Chris, you and I are just astounded by the water that we've seen out here. And a couple of things come to mind about cautioning people.
Absolutely. Look, this is just moon tide that we're seeing here right now. High tide, moon tide. It's certainly up over the Walls break. What do we know? We don't understand what Sandy's going to be yet, but we know it's going to be bad. People are staying home right now saying, oh, I don't have to evacuate. It was fine the last time. You're making a mistake. Going to the beaches, you're making a mistake. Coming to look at a spectacle like this, you're making a mistake. I mean, the water is going to be here.
One of the things that happens with a storm like this is it will change exponentially. Remember, and just like that first little wave of water that moves by, the next one may be 4 times higher than that. In some storms, you're able to kind of time it. Oh, I can get to the grocery store and get out before the big rain or big wind comes. In this storm, you're not going to be able to time it. So if you're in and settled in, stay in, because it's a long storm.
Most cars have less than 12 inches of clearance. The water gets under your car, it stops running, you're dead in the water right there. It's a mistake. 90% of hurricane-related deaths are storm surge-related. It's not just flooding. There's force to this water. It can move structures. It can move people. You have to be very careful.
It's one of the points, by the way, of us getting on and talking about the storm last week and getting folks the information that they needed on what might happen in their area to get prepared for it. Now that you are prepared, kind of settle in and wait this storm out. It'll be a day. In most cases, it might be 2 for some places in New England where you'll still get the wind effects from this. And with power outages, you may see some folks without power for more than a week if the power outages are what we think they are.
And that's a real concern. That's a real concern. If you want to see this, watch us, and you'll get to see what's going on. Don't do it yourself.
Television. Back to Times Square.
And as you point out, it's a long storm and a slow storm. We're going to see the effects for days and days. And what we saw the water.
To see the water already lapping up over on the Battery in Irene, I was down there last year, and it didn't do that till the very end. I mean, we still have a long way to go to already see it.